All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are diving deep into what is arguably the most defining skill in the fire service, the search. We're not talking about theory here. We're breaking down real, actionable techniques you can drill on this afternoon and use on your very next fire. From how you move to how you think, let's master this thing.
And you really can't start this conversation without this quote from Chief Mike Lombardo. This isn't just a nice line to put on a slide. It's a gut check. Search is not another box to tick on the fireground. It is the mission. It's the whole reason we're there. So here's our game plan. We're starting with the mission, the big why behind it all. Then we'll get into the how. Your stance, the right grips, and the drags that actually save lives. And we'll wrap it all up with what might be the most important tool you have, your mindset.
All right, first up, the mission. Because honestly, if you don't really get the why, then all the how-tos are just a bunch of empty movements. We've got to ground ourselves in the purpose first.
Let's get this straight right now, because this is a huge mental shift. Search isn't just another assignment that the officer gives you. It is the mission. From the second that tone drops, we're thinking about saving lives. Everything else is secondary.
And here's how it all locks together. Think about it. We don't just force the door for fun, we do it to get inside and find people. We don't just vent a roof, we do it to lift the smoke so we can see. Every single thing we do, throwing a ladder, pulling a line, it all serves that one critical purpose, supporting the search.
Okay, mission locked in. Now, let's get tactical. Section 2 is all about the stance. How you actually position your body in zero visibility can literally be the difference between finding someone and missing them completely.
Man, this quote from Brian Olson is absolute gold. It perfectly explains why we get low. You know that tiny layer of clearer air near the floor? Those few inches are everything. Finding that space is way more valuable than just crawling blindly for miles. It's about working smart.
So what's the right way to get low? For years, everyone just crawled on their hands and knees. But look at the problem here. Your eyes are glued to the floor, not scanning the room. Now look at the tripod position. It's a total game changer. Your head is up, you've got a stable base, and this is key, both of your hands are free to actually search.
Let's break down how to do it. It's simple. 1, get low. Get below that heat and find that visibility. 2, keep your weight back, low, and stable. 3, always lead with a foot and your tool. You're feeling for holes in the floor or stairs going down. And 4, this frees up both hands to do what you're there to do, search.
Okay, you're moving well, you're searching, and you find someone. Now what? We gotta talk grips. Because that normal grip you use every day, it's completely useless with a pair of thick, wet structure gloves on. You need something simple, strong, and totally bomb-proof.
First up is the Kimura grip. We borrow this one from the grappling world, and it's awesome. The secret here is that it's a thumbless grip. You're not relying on your thumb strength at all. You lock onto your own wrist, creating this incredibly secure connection that's just not gonna slip.
Next up is the gable grip. It works on the exact same principle, no thumbs. You're locking your hands palm to palm. The easiest way to think about it is that you're turning your two hands into one giant powerful hook. It's a connection that is simply not going to break when you're dragging a victim.
All right, so we know how to move and we know how to grip. Now let's put it all together. Section 4 is all about the drags. The goal here is simple. Grab and go. We need to get that person moving towards an exit and we need to do it right now. But listen, before you move them a single inch, you do this. You key your mic and you say it loud and clear. Victim, victim, victim. It's one of only 2 things we say 3 times, the other being Mayday. That call cuts through all other radio traffic. It tells everyone on the fireground that the entire game has just changed. So how are we moving them? Feet first is our go-to, and here's exactly why. A major UL study proved that keeping their head and airway low, where you are, drastically cuts down on the toxic gases they're breathing. Plus, it just makes you a shorter package, which is way easier for getting around corners, and it forces you to use your legs, not your back. Let's walk through it. First, get the victim on their back. Then you get into your tripod position right at their feet. Cross their ankles. That just helps package them up. Now, hook your arms behind their knees, locking them in with your elbows. Squeeze their legs tight into your chest and drive with your own legs. Your legs are the motor here, not your arms or your back.
Okay, we've hammered on the physical skills. But let's be real for a second. The best technique in the world is totally useless if your head isn't in the game. That brings us to our last section, the mindset. This is the glue that holds everything together.
And this is the question we all have to ask ourselves, right? You can drill these drags 1,000 times, you can do the tripod in your sleep, but are you mentally prepared for that moment? When it's hot, you can't see, and you find someone. Is your mind ready for that crucible?
This vigilant mindset really comes down to 4 things. First, you have to maintain your composure. If you get turned around, just stop, breathe, get low. Second, have a bias to action. Be ready to move and make a decision. Third, and this is huge, expect to find victims. Go into every fire assuming someone is inside waiting for you. And finally, train with purpose. Confidence on the fire ground is built by sweating it out in realistic drills.
And let's end with this incredibly powerful thought from Senior Chief Robert Howell. Our job isn't just to be safe, it's to be effective. And we do that job as safely as possible by mastering our craft. The training, the skills, the mindset, that's how we manage the risk to get the job done. So the real question to leave you with is, are you training to be effective,